G'day, it's Dan Beeston here for MacTuts Plus. Here's a common problem that I have with my Gmail account. I've connected mine to Apple Mail. You can see that there's a whole mishmash of items of varying importance in here, so I can't really see what's important and what's unimportant. Now to get rid of stuff, I can hold down on Command and select various ones, and then right click and archive them. But that takes a lot of effort. As with any frustrating and awkward process, I'd like to automate it, so let's see what can be done. Now number one, let's ditch Apple Mail. It's got some hotkeys and you can set it to do some tasks. It turns out Google's webmail is leaps and bounds ahead of it so far as functionality. So let's load up our Google webmail. And we can see, same problem, we can see a whole bunch of stuff here. We don't know what's important. I still need to select items one by one and then hit the archive button to get rid of them. But Google provides the functionality to automatically sort my inbox. So let's go to Settings, Configure Inbox, and turn on Social, Promotions, and Updates. You can also include forums if you like. And boom, suddenly we've got our primary emails, our social emails, a lot of Twitter updates there, our promotions, various newsletters I've signed up to, and updates for other elements. I can see my important emails, but I still have to check each one of these ones to see whether there's stuff in there that's important. And I'm still clicking on everything and hitting archive to get rid of it. In fact, it's made it slightly more work to deal with them all. If only there were a hotkey for these functions. I bet you'll be unsurprised to learn that there is indeed hotkey functionality in Gmail. You just have to turn it on first. So hit the cog, click on Settings, and scroll down to Keyboard Shortcuts. Let's turn those keyboard shortcuts on and hit Save Changes. Now, you're going to have to relearn a whole bunch of keyboard shortcuts. Not so fast. All you need to do is remember one, and that's question mark. Question mark will tell you every other one that we want. So, what do we want? Well, first and foremost, we want to be able to select everything in a tab, which would be star, then A. Select all conversations. Then, what we want to do is we want to archive it. And archive is E. So, we can go to Updates, we'll hide that. We can hit star A, and that selects them all. And if I were to hit E, it would get rid of all of these entries and put them in my archive. Then I'd have to click on Promotions and do the same thing here. Hit star A, and that selects them all. And if I hit E, they're all gone. But I'm still doing a lot of selecting with the mouse. I want to jump from tab to tab just by hitting a hotkey. Well, we can hit the question mark again, and we find that under navigation, we can go to the next inbox selection with that little apostrophe there, or hit the tilde button, and that will take us to the previous one. So if I hit updates and hit tilde, shift tilde, I can cycle back through those inboxes. In order to clear out that inbox, I just hit star A to select them all, E to archive them, and then hit tilde to move to the next one. But that's a lot of hotkeys to remember, and that's 6 buttons including shift keys. Let's speed that up even more with a macro program. Now there are a couple of macro programs around for the Mac, but my favourite one is ControllerMate by Ordered Bytes. I believe it started off helping people cheat at World of Warcraft, but now it's grown way beyond that. It's got MIDI controllers, game controllers, and you can rewire pretty much any key on any keyboard to do whatever you want. Don't bother to install your device drivers. ControllerMate knows that it's there and is listening intently, and you can bind anything to it. It's well worth the price tag of $25, but if you'd like to give it a free test drive, just download it and try it for free. Alright, let's set a hotkey. Wow, looks a bit intimidating, doesn't it? But we only have one small macro to make, so let's right click here and create a programming group. There's group number 1. Now we only want this to activate when our browser's running, so activate when Google Chrome is running in the foreground only. Now a new programming page under that. We have to find our hotkey. So I'm going to use Command apostrophe. We'll need a controller. So let's find out which keyboard it's using. A lot of different devices register as keyboards. So let's hit Command apostrophe and we can see that it's on this keyboard. Click on that. And then which building block underneath it. Tap it a couple of times. You can see it activating here in the menu. So let's drag him out. Now we need an output. We want a couple of keystrokes. So let's bring the keystrokes out and get ready to capture. Hit the capture button and we'll hit star A, then E for archive, and then tilde and stop. These are all the keystrokes we need for our hotkey, and we're going to adjust the speed so that it's a little bit faster than the default, and save it. Now we can only add in 8 of these building blocks in the unregistered mode, and Controller Mate has to be running in order for them to work. But when you register it, you get a little helper program that runs in the background. You never have to think about it. Alright, let's go back to our Gmail, and if we've set this up correctly, we hit Command apostrophe, and it should select all of these items, archive them, and then move to the next tab. So we can have a quick look-see. Yep, I know what all of these are. I'm not interested in any of them. Hit my hot button. Boom! And that one's cleared out. Now I can have another look through my promotions. Yep, I know what all these are. Hit it again. And I'm in social. And under social, a whole bunch of updates from Twitter. Let's get rid of those guys. Ah, lovely. And now I only have my most important emails to deal with. And one last little tip. When I want to go through them, I'll click the first one. I know what this is, so I'm ready to archive it. I'll hit the open square brackets in order to archive it and move to the next email. Click. Click. Thank you. Yes. And done. Now all of my tabs are empty. Inbox 0. Very easy, very quick. Helps me keep on top of my workload. Now, Controller Mate is a bit of overkill for a simple macro program, so if you've got any other suggestions, do pop them in the comments. This has been Dan Beeston for Mac Tuts Plus.